Looks like Billy has a problem. How's it going? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year's Eve. Yeah, 5 hours. 5 hours and it'll be 2025 here. I don't know about you, but that's what's going on. But welcome. It's good to see you. And it might be a pretty quiet night tonight, I mean, got a couple people here, but might not be a ton of people, but that's okay. That's okay. We can hang out. Movie Mike, Happy New Year, Robin. Oh, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Jody B is here. Welcome. Did you win, Ricky? I mean, you won first place in the in the chat thing. But hey, look, welcome. Happy New Year. And if I have anything to say, it's please don't shoot fireworks or bullets at the aliens, please. To quote the late great Bill Hicks, would you let the aliens land, please? They might be here to pick me up. Just saying. They might be here to pick me up. Anyway, how was your holiday? I mean, it's been 2 weeks. Of course, last week was Christmas Eve. I had family things to do, so we couldn't do a stream then. And then, of course, throughout the week, there was just all the things. And I'll also say the last 2 weeks, my wife has been off of work, which means I was hanging out with the wife. We were doing things. We were doing things and seeing things and shopping and, doing the thing, and especially, since she's the reason why this channel exists, might want to do what she wants to do. You know what I mean? So that's it. Ninjinzu, welcome. Good to see you. I'm staying inside and playing some World of Warcraft. We have the strange fog going on here. Yeah, what is that about? I've seen people freaking out about it, but it's like it's just fog everywhere all the time. I don't know enough about it other than it's the contrails from the plains. It's some sort of agent. I don't know what's going on. But I hope everything's okay. Hope everything's okay with you. Got into playing Lorcana this past weekend. I think that's how you say it. Been buying cards out the wazoo. I don't know what that is. But I'm glad you're having fun with it. When it comes to video games, I played through the Pixel remaster of Final Fantasy 1. Finished it last week. I gotta say, it was pretty fun. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good time. So I highly recommend it. I mean, if you haven't played it, I mean, it's what, a 30, 40-year-old game almost? Yeah, it's my first time playing it. It's good. It was good. Had a nice holiday, but glad it's over and I can relax a bit. Movie Mike, you ain't kidding. And here's the thing. I still have more to do. So tomorrow, of course, New Year's Day, right? The wife and I are supposed to get up and go hiking. And the weather has been doing this here. It rained for 3 straight days. And then it got really warm. I think it was like 78, 79 degrees here yesterday. That's for December. That's crazy. And then today it got cold again. And it's like, man, I'm going to get sick. And I've had my head feels like it's full of air, it's like, and I have the pressure, it sucks, but I'm happy to get things back to normal. But yeah, tomorrow night we're supposed to go do something. And I think it's looking at something. I don't know, lights. And I'm like, Christmas is over. Christmas is over. There's no more lights. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're doing the thing. And yeah, it's a Disney trading card game. Pop Hunter. It's good to see you. Just topped in to say hi and for everyone to have a happy and safe New Year's. Be good. Pop Hunter, it's good to see you. And thank you for popping in. Even if it's for just a couple of seconds. But again, please don't shoot at the aliens. Okay? Please no shooting at the aliens. Anyway. I have no idea. It's been foggy here since Christmas. I'm close to the coast, but it's not like this. It's not like this around this time of year. Well, it has been oddly warm here. Like I said, it's been weird. House of Leaves. Where's my copy of it? Oh, it's down there. Yeah, I got that too. And I'm gonna be. I don't know when I'm gonna make my way through it, but I am gonna make my way through it. I'm excited for it. I didn't realize how much of a streak. That's like a weird gray streak right there. Interesting. Anyway, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. I'm going to be 49 in a couple of months. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. I will say, you know what's funny is all day I've been feeling kind of like, oh, whatever. But for some reason the stream starts, I see you guys, I feel better. Isn't that weird? I feel better. So thank you guys for being here. It really means a lot. Hope you get better, Rob, while I sit here for about 2 feet of snow. Cosma. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. But wow. Just saw the TV series Heliar? Heliar? Due to Melvor's recommendation, it was okay till halfway season 2, and then it got really good. Gray streaks are cool. I got some too. I never realized that mine, it looks very pronounced tonight. That's weird. I didn't notice that. But hey, it's a thing. It's a thing. Christmas. Do you guys have any Christmas stories? Did you get anything cool? Or is it kind of like, hey, we're all older. Christmas isn't that big of a deal. Because here's the thing. I don't really have Christmas stories as far as like what I got. Because here's what happens. Both sides of the family, we're doing well. Okay? We don't need anything. Nobody's really wanting for anything. So what we do is we just say, hey, let's just get together. Let's have a good time. Let's hang out. Family, family time, quality family time. We'll sit and eat. We'll, tell some stories. It'll just be a good time. It's just a good time for everybody to get together. And that's the way it's been for like the last 4 or 5 years. So we don't really wrap presents and do all the things. You know what I mean? It's weird. And even my dad, what he does every year at Thanksgiving is he gives everybody their Christmas gift, which is basically a card full of hard cash, cold hard cash to people in the family. So it was kind of like we all kind of had our Christmas already. You know what I mean? So by the time we all got together, it was kind of like, hey, how's it going? Let's have some food. Like we ordered pizza and, sat around, ate cookies and stuff. It was fun. It was good. But I don't really have a lot of gifts. But I do have a Christmas story. And it's a thing. So my brother and my sister, we pooled our money together and we got my dad AirPods. So I'm just going to tell you, if you have any older people in your family and they're hard of hearing and they happen to be in the Apple ecosystem, dude, the AirPods 2, the AirPods Pro 2s, it was crazy because I bought these actually for Black Friday for me, for myself. But I knew I'd heard about the hearing aid functionality and I'm like, it's kind of interesting. So I took a hearing test. My hearing is, very, very close to perfect. But I was like, I'm going to take it over to Dad's and see if it's something that it might work for him. Took it over there. The look on his face when it was suddenly he was able to hear. And then what's even weirder is that he started speaking clearer, like he was kind of talking, in like a little rasp in his voice. And then now that he can hear, he's talking with more, like it's like a stronger voice. And it's because now he can hear his own voice. It's crazy. And I mean, he could, if he's sitting in his chair in the living room and I went into the kitchen and I just barely said something, he goes, I can hear that. And I'm just like, it's so freaking cool. So please, if you have any family members, like I said, friends that are hard of hearing, It's one of those things where you go, okay, that's just freaking cool, man. I mean, look, I know there's people that are anti-Apple or whatever, but these have been out for like a year and a half, and they added that functionality probably because it was like, wow, this could actually be a thing. And again, I got to see it firsthand, and it was awesome. So we went in together and got him some AirPods. It was kind of like a gift from all of us for him for Christmas. It was amazing. And I'm so happy that it's something that's adding to his life. You know what I mean? It's adding quality to his life, and I just think that's freaking cool. And I think that's worthy of sharing that information. So there you go. Aunt gave me a gift card for the movie theater. Used it yesterday. Show Zama. That is a great gift. I mean, it really is. I mean, look, man, you know me. I watch a lot of movies. Not nearly as many movies as I would like, because you know what? Movies are expensive. Going to the movie theater, even on your own. Now, yeah, you could probably say, well, Rob, you could probably wait till like, Monday afternoon, when nobody's there. But I'm like, yeah, but if I don't get my review out, that means it's like every day that I wait, I lose views. But then again, I never know. I thought my Nosferatu video was going to get zero. Like, it's Christmas Day, man. Who's going to be watching YouTube videos about, some random dude going to Nosferatu Christmas morning? Who's going to watch that? And it's got like 3,000 views or something. It's like, I never would have expected that. So you never know. But yes, great gift. Great gift. Streak reminds me of Narcissa Malfoy. Okay. It is kind of weird. It's just like one line. I'm looking at it's weird. It's like if I look over here, I can't really see it. But then I look over here and I can see what the stream looks like. And I'm like, wow, that looks really strange. Visa gift cards. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Got some new shoes for Christmas. They are comfy. Are they Crocs? Because here's the weird thing. Crocs have gotten a bad rap for a long time, but man, I've heard a lot of people say, look, Crocs, I hated them, and now I'm wearing them, and they're awesome. I don't know. Maybe Crocs are like the thing. I don't know. AirPod Pros are great. Yeah. You've had the first version since 2020. And yeah, it really is an awesome story. I mean, again, it's because what it does is it tests your hearing. It figures out where you're lacking frequencies, and it boosts those frequencies. And my dad has actual hearing aids that are like, I don't know how much they are, but they're way more expensive than the AirPods. And he's like, these are better because not only will it do that and boost the frequency so I can hear, but you can actually change the tone of it. He said the problem with hearing aids is that they're very tinny, so it sounds like you're listening on an old AM radio, and it's very like, there's no mid-range, there's no bass. He said these are amazing. So I'm just saying, just keep that in mind. Just keep it in your mind. And it may be something that more like just like anything, Apple and Samsung and Google, they all borrow from each other, right? One gets a feature and then the other one gets a feature and goes, hey, look at this. We got this feature. And it's like, yeah, that feature's been over here on this other one for a long time. And it's been lately, it seems like Apple has been borrowing more from Google than Google borrowing from Apple. You know what I mean? And if you say, well, I don't remember the last time that's happened. Okay, well, yeah. Pinch to zoom, pretty much everything that they did to start the iPhone, every manufacturer started stealing those ideas. I just spit everywhere. So yeah, it's not like it hadn't happened before. But then you go back and you're like, well, didn't Apple steal the mouse from like Xerox? Yeah, that's true too. Again, it's all we're building technology together, and yeah, sometimes it's a fight to get the new technology or whatever, but they all steal from each other. I just hope that the technology that's in this will start to filter out and go to all the different headphones that have the capability to do this. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to have software that can run that. But yeah, man, I just think it's so freaking cool. Oh, and by the way, before we get too much further, there is a poll. So basically, this came from the John Campea show, and you might be like, "Well, Rob, why would you steal content from the John Campea show?" This was a tip that somebody sent in, so I don't think it's that big of a deal for us to play the same game. I just thought it was a cool idea. 3 brand new movies. You know nothing about the movies except who's directing them. You don't know the genre. You don't know if it's sci-fi. You don't know if it's a comedy. You don't know anything. Just 3 movies directed by 3 different people: Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, Denis Villeneuve. Which one do you see? You can only see one. Which one do you pick? And I think it's a cool idea, and it's actually funny because Spielberg is leading the way right now. But man, I pretty much anything that any one of those make, I want to watch it. But I still haven't seen West Side Story. What was the last movie he did? Spielberg. I don't even remember. Because it's actually been a few years. Let's see. Let's just see. Okay. Director? Why did you do that? Just give me the director. You know he's a director. Go. The Fablemans. Okay, I did see that. I didn't see West Side Story. Saw Ready Player One. Saw The Post. Didn't see the BFG. Saw Bridge of Spies. Saw Lincoln. Saw Warhorse. Saw Tintin. Don't know what a Timeless Call is. Saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And unfortunately, saw Munich. That's awesome. Munich's an amazing movie. Terminal. War of the Worlds. Catch Me If You Can. I mean, I've seen almost all of his movies. I haven't seen Amistad. I never saw Amistad. I don't know why. But I think I've seen everything else he's done. And I'm talking about movies, not these TV shows. 1941 I saw, Jaws, Sugarland Express. I didn't see these. Savage Something Evil. Duel I've seen. Anyway, so there, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's a cool question. And I thought we could play around, see what we do, you know? Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Hustle Bones. Welcome. Good to see you. Villeneuve, the only answer to this poll, what the F is wrong with y'all? Well, look. It's like, I'm excited by any of those, like any one of those directors is making a new movie. I'm excited to see it. Like, here's the thing. I haven't read The Odyssey since I was in college. I read the Iliad and the Odyssey for a was it, I don't remember what, was it World Lit? But I read them both. Enjoyed them both. But I'm kind of like, yeah, it's fine. But as soon as I hear Nolan's making an Odyssey movie, I'm like, I'm there. But I'm also there for Villeneuve. I'm there for Spielberg. Whatever. Brooks, huh? Brooks shoes. I don't know anything about Brooks. I don't think. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. Running shoes. Gotcha. They were Crocs in the movie Idiocracy. Kiss the Peter, not the Dinklage. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. They're every single one I've ever seen has been like, that's kind of not ugly. That's kind of ugly. But man, you can't argue with the comfort, right? I mean, I wear my Adidas because those are most comfortable to me, but the problem is they don't make the style of Adidas that I really loved. They're updated now and they look different. I haven't. In fact, I bought some Ultra Boosts that were like 2-year model ago, and they just weren't as comfortable. So I don't know. Gave Christmas cards mostly. So many family, friends, and neighbors loved getting them in the mail, and the written word was more appreciated by many. It really is. It's like a special touch, and it really, that's a thing that I mean, it doesn't really cost that much. Now, April goes the extra mile and she makes them, And those cards are she spent quite a bit of time making those cards. So pretty cool though. Pretty cool. One thing I want on iPhones is wireless high res audio. Yeah, and I mean, like, let me see. Let me just pull up. Um, library. Okay, so here's Tycho. Anybody know Tycho? Tycho. They're a electronic. I think it's just one guy. But anyway, Tycho's latest album. Come on, Dolby Atmos and lossless. And then you look at Aphex Twin, their expanded the expanded edition of the Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 that came out recently. That is in just lossless. But it's weird how I don't understand how they pick stuff. So see, even the Synchronicity Super Deluxe that I got recently is only lossless, but I've seen high res lossless. I don't know. It's interesting. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness Deluxe Edition high res lossless. But hey, they sound good, man. And I mean, just these sound great anyway. But then they add the hearing aid thing on top. It's just cool. It's just cool. They're both Linux. Who cares? Rufus, welcome. Good to see you. Wes Anderson, what can I say? I like Symmetry. Is that in regards to which director you'd want to? I mean, it was just those were the three that were in the thing, and I was just like, hey, that's a good one. That's good. But yeah, do it. Yeah. But yeah, Wes Anderson is definitely a director I love to watch, for sure. Spielberg did the Lehman bombs or whatever, the Fablemans, but yes, the Lehman bombs, the Strugenhoffens. I don't. 1941 was based on a movie. What do you mean? What? He made a movie named 1941. It's got John Belushi, and it's not great. It's not a great movie. Yeah, I'm adding an answer like a monster. Well, yeah, I get that. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, like I said, I like Wes Anderson too, but those are the three that were in there in that little question that the guy tipped in. I figured, hey, you like Tycho too? Man, I love some Tycho. It's weird. My nephew was asking me, what kind of music do I like to listen to? And I'm like, lately, I've been listening to a bunch of older stuff. Like, especially like right now, I'm listening to the deluxe edition of what's the album called? Tears for Fears. What's the album called though? I can't remember. The Seeds of Love. And I recently listened to the songs from the Big Chair Deluxe Edition. Now, what's weird is the Seeds of Love. There's only 8 songs on that album, and so all the other stuff is just like different mixes. And here's the. It's not my favorite of the deluxe editions. Like Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness Deluxe Edition is kind of awesome because you got 2 albums. I mean, or 2 discs, right? Is the first, the original release, and then you've got all these different, remixes and live versions and stuff like that. That's cool. But there was also Stone Temple Pilots. I listened to their albums like that. I listened to there was a couple of them from Sting, of course. The Police. That's what started it. That guy. Getting that was kind of the start of my super deluxe journey. I listened to Fleetwood Mac Rumors, the deluxe edition of that. That was awesome. I mean, I'm not even a huge Fleetwood Mac fan, but there's something about it's kind of like buying a box set of movies from like a director or whatever, or a certain theme, and it's just fun to go through like a bunch of stuff, and that's what I've been listening to. And then I started listening to This is way outside my comfort zone musically. The Neil Young Archives. So for some reason, Neil Young is one of those guys that I never really thought, oh man, I really love Neil Young. But he was always like, he's captivating and he's interesting, and I wanted to know more about him. And so when those Neil Young Archives first came out, and they're like, what is it, 8 CDs and Blu-rays and all kinds of stuff, right? And they were really expensive, and I was like, I want to buy them, but I don't, I want to buy them because it looks cool. I don't know anything about it. They're all on Apple Music. So I've been listening. I listened to Volume 1 and enjoyed the hell out of it. And now I'm listening to Volume 2. And I'm listening to them, all these deluxe editions and stuff. I'm listening to them while I do the hiking thing. So it helps pass the time and all that. It's great. It's great. 1941 Counterattack is a vertical scrolling shooter arcade game by Capcom released in February 1990. I'm pretty sure it's not related to the movie 1941. I'm pretty sure that's just, hey, yeah. I get what you're saying, though. And then there's 1943. And then I don't know if there's any after that. Those are the only ones I remember. But I did want to show you, since we're going through like the year, right? I wanted to show you this. Those are all the books I read this year. So yeah, started off with Wolves of the Calla, Three Body Problem, Morgoth's Ring. So you got, what is that? Stephen King. I can't remember. Is it Lin Sishu Lin? Anyway, Three Body Problem, Morgoth's Ring, Tolkien, Stephen King. Cause dude, at the end of book 6, I was like, I can't skip around. I need to read the end. So I read the end. Project Hail Mary, which is Andy Weir. Andy Weir? Is that his name? He did The Martian. And Project Hail Mary is going to be a movie with oh my god, it's Ryan Gosling, but the directors, basically the guys that did well, they did Solo and then they got kicked off the project. I'm having a problem with names. But really interesting book. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So there's some stuff in that movie that's oof. Did I open House of Leaves yet? No. You look at the end there. I'm in the middle of The Way of Kings right now. But I just finished Imminent. Was it 2 days ago? So this is the Lou Elizondo, the book, the UFO guy. And I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed this. Now I know there's gonna be people who are like, oh, he's just a psyop, he's just whatever. I enjoyed it. What was interesting about it is hearing about the internal sort of the way that the Pentagon works and the way that the government works. And it was a little disturbing. Not disturbing. Disappointing, I guess. That the same kind of political crap that happens in any job, where people play favorites and some people get, promotions when they don't really deserve it and stuff like that. All that stuff happens in the government too. So it was interesting, but then it's kind of like The Program, the movie that I reviewed, the UFO movie, James Fox. Even though I knew most of the information, it's cool to see it all. This is it, and here's the story from A to B. So it's kind of like it's linking all of those things that I've seen from all these different places all in one place, and it was kind of interesting. But yeah, that's a lot of freaking books. So finished Dark Tower, and then almost immediately started. I say almost immediately. I took a little break, and then I started back. I did the Sanderson thing. So I'm going through his Cosmere right now, and that's where I am. I'm reading Way of Kings. And I went on a King Arthur kick. So Lamort D'Arthur, Once and Future King, great book of King Arthur. So I feel like I'm all King Arthured out right now. I'm good. Um, but yeah, and then you see the Dark Forest, the second in the three body problem. I decided to go ahead and go back to it, and I want to finish out the trilogy. So that should be. I think I have another Tolkien book after The Way of Kings, and then I'll finish off that trilogy. And then, who knows? And again, House of Leaves is in the conversation. I just don't know exact. I think I have a list. I mean, I have a list. I know I have a list, but I don't know if I actually put it on the list yet. Because there's so many books left. It doesn't look like I put it in there yet. Because there's other books that I purchased. Okay, that's where it should go. Because there's that book. There's that book. Yeah, it should go right here. Bam. It's officially on the list. There's probably 15 books ahead of it. But don't worry. It will happen. It will happen. Let's see. 26 books is really good, Rob. That's more than 2 books a month. Yeah, but here's the weird thing. There's some in there that are that were really short. Like the what was it? The Bilbo's Last Song? Yeah. That took about 30 minutes to read because it's super freaking thin. So that one almost doesn't even count. Tree and Leaf is actually also really, really thin. I should have finished that one off in probably 2 days, but yeah. A lot of good books. A lot of good books there. Good list. I prefer The Talisman to Black House. Oh, I agree. I think The Talisman was amazing. Sorry that Peter Straub is not alive to work with King on a third book. I know. It's such a bummer. Such a bummer. Lose a DOD plant. Don't trust him at all. See, here's the thing. Everybody says that. There's a lot of people that say that, but how do you know? How do you know that anybody that's come forward isn't some sort of plant from the government? I mean, you have, David Grush, David Fravor, Ryan Graves. They were all on that panel last year, in front of Congress. And then this year, you had Gallaudet, you had Lou Elizondo, and then you had that reporter guy, and then you had that weird NASA dude. But I mean, I'm not questioning you. I don't understand. I haven't seen anything that makes me think, oh yeah, this guy's definitely a plant or a spook or whatever. His story is very matter of fact, and I think that's one of the things that I really liked about it is that this is what happened. I don't know. It was good. I actually enjoyed reading it. It only took me a few days to read it. But I actually have to give it back because it's a library copy. So I have to hit the button and boot it off my Kindle. But yeah. So what next? Oh, I should mention this too. I don't plan on going till midnight because I do want to hang out with the wife, for Happy New Year type thing. So we'll probably do a regular show, and then we'll be back next week doing the thing. First panel was great. Felt like it was 2 steps forward to disclosure. The last panel was 10 steps backwards. Well, the thing is, though, it's weird, though. I mean, I streamed it, right? And I'm sitting there watching it going, there's nothing really new here. But I think in a lot of ways, it's just the more of those they have, the more people that will hear it. Hopefully. I mean, that's the goal, right? It's more about getting more and more people involved and more people aware of it. And then hopefully more people know, they go to their Congress people, their representatives, their senators, and the push for disclosure is coming from us, really. And I think in that way it was a success. I also don't think it was the best, but I don't think we took a step backwards. I just don't think we moved the ball any. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Does that mean I don't know. But hey, who knows? I think what's going to be interesting is the next few months to see what comes out of it once, everybody comes back from vacation, and I'm talking about Congress, right? Once they come back from vacation, what happens? We'll see. The NASA guy was a plant too. That was weird. He was just weird. Do you ever go with your wife to NYE bashes? No, we're not really party kind of people, you know? Um in fact, we were both I wouldn't say that we were party people, but we did occasionally party. And then when we got married, things really calmed down. I think one year we went to my friend's house. He's got a fairly large house. Hung out, played poker, all that kind of stuff. And it was fun, but it's also like we're all getting older, you know? Wife's got things like she's doing right now. She's not working. In fact, I think she's making a card for her mom right now. But it's like it's just not our scene, you know? I've been to in my entire life, I've been to one club one time. That was it. It's just not my scene. And I'm not a big drinker either. And it's kind of like you're just standing there drinking water. And it's weird. It's like if you don't drink and you go out with your friends and they're drinking and stuff, you just feel like a babysitter. And it's just not my scene. And it never was my scene. And then with April, it's the same thing. She feels the same way. So I don't know. Have I heard bird is the word? Bird is the word. Yeah, exactly. I did my NYE bashes in my younger days. These days, it takes me too long to recover. I mean, you're not wrong there. But yeah, I kind of, I think it's just because, I don't know, man. It just felt so, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Now, it's weird because Shazama posted that video about Gen Z not wanting to go out with people after work. You know, like why don't you do that? You know, you're networking. There's all kinds of benefits to doing that. I can tell you firsthand that if you're not a drinker, you're not a partier, you might get passed over for people who do. You know, and you look at, especially like when it comes to a corporate situation, man, if you party, it might actually be good for your career to do some partying with the higher ups. I mean, I'll tell you this. There was at one of my jobs, and I can tell this story because I'm leaving out all the names. But it was kind of I would say the second in command for this program that I was on. He was partying with the client. We were all, it was like a big party and the client was there and all that kind of stuff and just having a good time. They got in a drinking contest, basically. And suddenly, this, you know, I guess my direct report, I'm sitting there and he's a big guy, like a big guy, right? And I'm seeing him doing push ups. And then, and it was just like, what is going on here? And then he got the job. He got, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Now, yeah, he was second in charge. First person leaves. Of course, the second person would move up. But it was just it's weird. It's weird. I've seen it too many times. Like you need to kind of party with the people, you know? If you don't, you might get left behind a little bit. And it kind of sucks because it should be based on, your work. And if you kick ass at your job, you should get the promotion. But that's not always the way doesn't always work that way. So, I don't know. One of my friends' birthdays is New Year's Day, so it was a combined New Year's Eve and birthday bash. Oh, I mean, absolutely. And yeah, my mother-in-law has a birthday too. So it's kind of like, it's it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Especially, man, I gotta be honest, I would hate to have a birthday around Christmas. Because it just, everything's combined and it feels wrong. I don't know. But it's still, hey, you're celebrating. Younger people also don't dance as much as back in the days. Clubs are closing more and more. See, I don't know anything about that. But I just was, I went there, like I said, one time and was like, this is totally not my scene. I mean, there were some hot ladies there. I'll just say that. And that interested me, but not enough for me to play the game. Like I saw that and I was just like, this is not my thing. No, this was before April. And yeah, I was sitting there going, this is not where I want to find my mate. It's just not my thing. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not for me. So, same, I don't drink heavily, and when I'm at parties with people that do, the scene changes. I can go from fun to annoying, depends on how people act when they get drunk. Wraith? Yes. Watching a bit of Total Recall. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great movie. That's a great movie. That's another movie I need to get in 4K. Eventually. Wait a minute. Do I have it digitally? I'll tell you, Apple is really strange. So, okay, I've got my iMac here, extended desktop here, right? Sometimes you open up a program and it pops up over here where it should. This is the home base. For some reason, it popped up over here. And I'm like, why is it doing that? Let me see. I do have it. I have it digitally in 4K. Or no, I have it digitally in HD. Oh no. Yeah. I still probably should get that in 4K because that's a good movie. It's so much, it's weird. It's like I liked it when I was younger for, the three boob lady and but no, it was a cool movie, right? But man, watching it somewhat recently, I don't know, the last 2 years, man, it was so much better. It was so much better. It was like, man, this is a really good story. Well told. I like it. It's a good movie. Movie Mike, if I want to drink these days, I'd prefer to do it at home. When I'm ready to be done, I can just go to bed. I mean, exactly, right? And I mean, that's the other thing. Shouldn't drink or drive, right? That was something that I just, yeah, never liked playing that game. I remember I had to drive home one time, drive me and friends home. And I didn't have my license and I'd barely driven, and it was not good. Not good. No, I didn't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. I forgot. Okay. So you might be looking at the poll and you're like, hey, why are there poll with directors, right? Why isn't there poll with liquids? Well, here's the thing. There's only one liquid left. And that is the boysenberry jam scone that you guys did not vote for like a month in a row. Like every freaking show it was on there and it never got picked. So that's what we're going to do tonight because it's the only new liquid that I have left. And here's the thing. I don't know how long I can do that anyway. Because, man, liquids, they're not cheap. And especially to just get flavors I've never had before, it's not cheap. And, man, I don't know if you've noticed, but a bunch of the liquids that I've gotten recently have sucked. So we're going to try it. We're going to try this. But basically what that means is that next year, it might be an every now and then thing instead of trying to make it an every week thing. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to, take away something that everybody loves because it is fun, but it's expensive, man. So yeah, we're gonna try this. And I already did the mixing. Remember, this is an Australian liquid, so it doesn't come with any nicotine. I had to put the nicotine in it myself, and I already did that. So all we gotta do is try it. Why don't we just get that out of the way now? I want to try this thing. So it's going in the Blaze RTA. But first, we got to do the Nuck. Let's do the Nuck. All right. It should be sufficiently mixed. That needs to... There we go. All right. All right. Almost got it in my nose. Now, like you said, Cosma, there might be a reason that you didn't pick it. This might be a bad one too. But it's the last one. And it's not really a Nuck, but I got it on my finger already, so... Ooh. Okay. This might be tasty. Man, okay, so when I thought boysenberry, for some reason I just thought it was kind of like a blackberry. I'm trying to think of what that reminds me of. That is a very unique a unique flavor. I like that. All right. On the liquid. By the way, these are brand new coils too. So the boysenberry jam scone got the full treatment. It is good to go. You know what it almost smells like a Fig Newton. You know? Anybody had Fig Newtons before? That's what it almost tastes like. Interesting flavor. Okay, tank goes on. Take the top off. Screw this down all the way. Okay. All right. Blech. All right. Filled. Top on. Ready to go. You ready? You ready? Okay. First toot on the beautiful bottle. Boysenberry jam scone from Licious. Small batch artisan flavor. Look at that. Flavor with a U. Yeah, that's how you know it's special. And yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Look at this. Contact. Made in the UK under license by Wick Liquor e-juice. 4 Licious flavors in Australia. I didn't realize it. I don't know anything about them. I like Fig Newtons because I like to bite wasps back. Okay. Okay, it's not a Fig Newton flavor. Fans on. Okay, let me just give me a second. I don't really have anything to play. Let me see. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Is there something that we can play here? Yeah. No. Let's see. Would it be in here? Yeah. Let's just play a random switched on clip from the old podcast. Yeah, we're going to just do this one. I have no idea what this is, but we're going to listen to it. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Old phrases that people use, old saying stuff, but mix them up. Get them wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, an old man once said,
If you can't handle the heat.
then let bygones be.
Exactly.
Hey, you know, I think you're trying to put a square peg inside of a basket. You can't even count.
You know what they say. Do unto others as they do to you in the kitchen. What?
Or he makes them up. He just makes us up. You know, you can't tidy a room with one broom. What does that mean?
You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a sandwich with one piece of bread. What did you say?
Remember the old one? You can lead a horse to water, but he won't suck your dick.
Remember that? Yeah.
He just starts making up the ends of them because he doesn't know what they are.
He says that in court.
Oh,
I can't see.
thank you. Yes, that's the Switched On podcast. Sorry. The podcast that I was on way back, we started in 2005. So in February, it will be the 20 year anniversary of Switched On. And you might be saying, Rob, that's before Joe Rogan. That's before Kevin Smith. That's before almost anybody yeah. We were one of the first ones, and then we stopped in 2007. So we should have kept going because we actually had a pretty good thing. But anyway, I wasn't cursing. If I was cursing, I mean, I could just curse if I wanted to, but I don't. But yeah, that was the old podcast. And so February, we're going to have to do something to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the podcast. And I don't know what that is yet, but I have reached out to the other two guys and we are planning something. We're going to do something. I don't know what. We might just stream on here and celebrate the 20-year, but there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. By the way, this is amazing. Like, this is really good. It's so unlike anything flavored that I have. It's kind of like it's almost like a raspberry and a blackberry to, you know, it's odd. I guess I've never had a boysenberry before, but it is tasty. It's really good. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me see. I gotta go back. Oh my gosh. I was never into clubs. I went to a few here in Manhattan back in the day. I never cared for it. I'd rather hang at a lounge bar than a club. Yes, Wraith, I get that too. And you know, if you think about that, like in that case, we went to, in fact, it was one of the best nights. It was just a fun night. It was I'm pretty sure it was me and my wife, and that was it. I don't think anybody else was there. But we went to this jazz club and stayed there until close. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. I think it was her. Might have been somebody else. Might have been before her. You know what I mean? But no, that was great. I love that kind of stuff. But never really, I've never done like the comedy thing. Never done, you know, the bar thing, of course. But yeah, it's just not the club's not my scene. Lately, the BYOB kickback and Uber since close is nice saves mucho dinero. Oh, I see what you mean. watching the 3 boob lady in 4K is something. I bet it is. Kind of makes me want to. I don't want to watch that. There's a reason we didn't pick it, Will Cosma. I'm gonna say it. I mean, it's not like you guys were wrong. It's just this is really good. This is really tasty. Like this is. Because here's the weird thing. The apple pie crumble is really good at first, but then it gets old. It's like it's one of those that it's so flavorful that you can't vape it a whole lot. You get tired of it. It's a weird thing. This one might be the same way because there's a scone, right? Is sort of what I consider to be. What is a scone? It looks like almost like a biscuit from here, right? Scone. Traditional British baked good, popular in the UK and Ireland. It is usually made of either wheat flour or oatmeal. It sounds like a dense bread, right? And if that's true, then yeah, I'm tasting that almost biscuity kind of flavor. There's some butter in there, and then there's that boysenberry flavor that I'm getting. So it depends. This could get old really fast, or it could be one of those that I continue to love. Like there's one I've gotten it many times. It's the peanut butter and jam monster, and it's supposed to be toast with butter and then whatever, right? And that one is toast, peanut butter and jam. It's supposed to be like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's awesome. So this could be one of those two, you never know. And you're right. A new liquid a week could get costly in a hurry. And that's not just one, because I've got to have 3 to pick from for you guys to pick from, right? To vote. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But when I do, I tend to, when I buy liquid, I buy a bunch. So it just won't be every week, and I mix my own liquid, and my own liquid is, I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think it's better than almost anything I've bought commercially. It's really tasty. So, and if anybody wants the recipe, if anybody's a DIYer and you want the recipe, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll just give it to you. It's no big deal. I vape the same thing until I can't get it anymore. I've only switched flavors a handful of times in over 10 years of vaping. But see, like for me, because I have so many different like I have these 2 setups right now. What's in here? Oh, this is the grams, the graham cracker one. I like having different flavors on hand. So I'm like, I'm in the mood for this, or I'm in the mood for this. And over time, like if you vape the same flavor all the time, you get what's called vapor's tongue, and you get it's almost like your tongue gets tired of tasting that. And so it starts tasting like nothing. And you have to like drink tea or coffee or, something to basically wake your tongue back up. So that's part of the reason why I do it too. So, and now the headache's coming back. That sucks. Better than garbage. And yeah, I absolutely, Movie Mike, both of you, I totally get it because I still have some of, this is my favorite liquid of all time. Acai Original. And look at how dark that is. That is really dark, but I still have some. Does it have this might have been before. Oh, no. There is a date on here. Okay, I can't even see. It's so dark. Yeah, this expired. How old this is? This expired October 2020. And I still have some. This is 6 milligram. So I don't vape it all the time. But every now and then I'll put a little drop. And all that means when it says it's expired, the flavoring will diminish, and the nicotine that's inside can get peppery. That's the only thing. When it says expired, that's what it means. So I don't typically have liquid that long for it to get peppery, but nicotine will get peppery over time, and it's gross. It literally tastes like you're vaping pepper. It's weird. Anyway, wasps pollinate figs. If you eat figs, you've eaten wasps. Oh, I didn't realize that, Rufus. Thanks for that. But I like fig Newtons. They're good. When life hands you lemons, you better just figure out who wants them. I mean, that's true. Like, hey, I prefer my lemonade like a slushy. Ooh, yes. Yes. I do like what is it, lemon chills? Hell yeah, dude. I love lemon chills. Webcam stream. Hey, sorry. A rooftop lounge is a world of difference. Trust me. I've been to one of those. That's very cool. Looks like maple syrup. I know, it's so dark. And that liquid, I remember it wasn't like look at the difference here. That is a pretty dark. Actually, that's kind of hard to tell. But like you can tell that one's kind of yellow and it's brand new. It looks like that. The acai one was just a little darker than that. But now it looks like motor oil, But I can't get rid of it because I do like every now and then tasting that oh man, it's so good. It's so good. But let's see. Agusia is the I don't even know if I said that right. Medical condition of vapor's tongue. Interesting. I totally have that most of the time. Popeyes has frozen lemonade. I didn't know that. I haven't been to Popeyes in a while. That sounds good, actually. I haven't had fried chicken in a while. Just regular old fried chicken. I mean, I've chicken tenders and chicken fingers and stuff from places, but man, just regular old chicken could be good. Could be good. Now, Rob Vape and Mrs. Butterworth. I mean, do I have an air fryer? I do. I do have an air fryer. My wife uses it a lot. It's like when we first got it, I was using it quite a bit because I was making my because I have you want a little behind the scenes of Order 42? Because of my Crohn's, what I typically eat for dinner before I get on stream is one of those little tiny Red Baron pizzas. Because I don't want to eat a lot, because then what happens? I gotta go to the bathroom because Crohn's boy, right? So I have one of those little pizzas. Well, I started making them in the air fryer and they taste totally different than the way they taste in the microwave. I stopped doing it just because it takes longer, and usually I'm kind of in a hurry because I'm behind and haven't really thought ahead. I'm pinching my nose to try to, alleviate the pressure. And unfortunately, I took Tylenol earlier, so I can't just go in there and take a Sudafed. So I screwed myself. I'm going to have to wait until I think it's 10 before I can take a Sudafed. Something like that. But anyway, yeah, I do have an air fryer. But why? Vape flavor crispy McButter pants. Crispy? Yes. That sounds good, actually. And there's plenty of those the waffle flavor e-liquids. They're okay, but they're one of those where if it's got that waffle flavoring, I get tired of it. And I'm just like, I don't want to vape this anymore. And I want to vape something different. So that's why I have multiple setups with multiple different liquids. Making fried chicken, and that is a game changer. It comes out crispy, juicy, and little to no grease. Well, I've made like chicken fingers with like panko breadcrumbs, and it's pretty good. But I'm sure if you made it, like a traditional fried chicken and put it in there, it'd probably be awesome. But unfortunately, we've been on the healthy train. And when you're on the healthy train, fried stuff, man, you just don't get to eat that a lot. And especially when you're cooking, I don't typically cook something just for myself. I have to cook it, with her in mind too. And it's not something that she can have because there's too many points on the Weight Watchers. You know what I mean? Bubs! Happy New Year, Bubs. Happy New Year. Good to see you, sir. And I think I'm sure I don't know when it's probably going to happen. I didn't see a time, but Billy is doing a Whatnot stream at some point. He might be doing it right now. But yeah, those are typically actually kind of fun, but I'm not a typical like retro video game guy, so I don't really need it, but hey, if you're interested, go do that thing. Did I get the weird fog mist like some parts of the world has? No, not really. I mean, we had it one night, but it was literally just fog, It wasn't that weird. I don't know what it is. Interesting though. Panko exists because of tank batteries. Fun fact, if you apply electricity to flour and water, you get panko. Soldiers figured it out really with tank batteries. I thought it was literally breadcrumbs. What? See, now we're going to have to check on you. Are you messing with us? Panko. How to cook with panko? What does it taste like? Okay, wait. Let's do this. Sorry. Scone. Panko. How to make. Food processor for breadcrumbs. Fresh panko. Homemade panko. What is this thing with the tank battery? What are you talking about, Rufus? But seriously, those of you that are, if you're here and you have your favorite movies or the worst movies of 2024, I would like to hear your thoughts. Like, what were your favorites? Because I know that everybody's going to have a different one. Add electricity or tank battery to that search, yo. Panko. How to make. Okay. Oh, you can't see it. Why? Why won't it go down further? It says too long didn't read or didn't watch. Panko invented by Japanese soldiers cooking dough with electricity from their tank batteries. Wow. Maybe this will show. Interesting. Okay. I thought you were just messing with me. Because, Rufus, you do mess with me every now and then. But that's actually interesting. Rufus is not wrong. I just learned something new. It's very interesting. Very cool. And Bucho. Bucho, are you from the future? From the future. Yes, I think you are. It's already New Year's there, isn't it? Is it not? Watching fireworks around the world. I do mess around, but not usually when it comes to information. Information is my love language. Alrighty. But yeah, Shozama. What are your favorites? Best and worst. All that kind of stuff. But I do want to go over some movies that I watched over the last couple of weeks. I figured some of them might be interesting. It is 3:08. 15:08 for us military folks. January 1st, 2025, over here on my South Pacific outpost. Happy New Year, sir. Why am I suddenly orange? There we go. That's better. More of a cool temperature, not that warm temperature shit. But the first thing, we already watched The Bride from Hell. I already talked about that one. Heroes 2. It was okay. It's one of those movies where it's a mistaken identity type thing, and I don't like movies like that where somebody gets mistaken for somebody else And so they're fighting this whole time. Almost all the whole plot revolves around the fact that this guy didn't know that this guy was who he, and it's just one of those things. It's annoying. So if they just had a conversation, none of the movie would have happened. Yeah. But I mean, it was fine. It was fine. That one had Alexander Fu Sheng, the guy in white, and Chen Quan Tai. Isn't that right? Chen Quan Tai? Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Then 2 movies, The Flying Guillotine and The Dragon Missile. These might as well have been the same movie. The Flying Guillotine, what it was, you might think, okay, is it just throwing a sword type thing? No. It looked like a hat, but with razors all the way around. But that's not what made it a guillotine. What it did is you throw it onto somebody's head, and it like sits on their head, and then this other piece comes down, and it looks like netting. And then when you pull the chain, there's swords that kind of, or like blades that cut the head off. And then you just pull it back, and it chops their head off. It was kind of an interesting concept, but then it was like, that's kind of dumb. So not a great movie. The Dragon Missile is just basically it's basically like, it looks like a scythe, but in the shape of a dragon with whatever. And it's kind of like unstoppable. And so the guy that's what he does. He goes around and kills people. And it was kind of forgettable, kind of dumb. This one, let's see. Killer Klans. Oh yeah. Okay. So Killer Klans. Oh, by the way, that means, let's see. These go in here. And that finishes off Volume 2. The Volume 2 of the Shaw Classics. So Volume 2 is done. So, yay. So then starting Volume 3, which I gotta be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of the martial arts films. I'm excited to put other movies in there, which is what I've been doing. But Killer Klans is the first one in Volume 3. And it is your typical story of, I can't even show you the back because there's nudity on the back. There was a lot of nudity and a lot of sex in this movie. And it's almost like they got to a certain point. This was made in 1976. And they're like, people aren't coming to see our martial arts films anymore. We got to throw in a bunch of nudity. And they did. Boy, did they. They totally did. And, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great. But Ching Li is in a few of, or is in one of the movies. In fact, I think she's in this one too, isn't she? Okay, maybe she's not in she's not in the next one, which was the Shaolin Avengers. Now, the Shaolin Avengers, go with me for a second here. So there's a guy, Shaolin guy, who finds out that you can become invulnerable by soaking yourself in like some weird solution of herbs and other stuff. And it's painful. And it basically hardens the outside of your body. So, and it's Alexander Fu Sheng. Which, that's not a great picture. I can show you the back of this one, I think. Oh, there he is. Right there in the barrel with the solution. But he's a pretty famous martial artist guy, and it's actually really sad because he had so much charisma, and then he died very young from a car crash. But anyway, in the movie, he becomes invulnerable. So he's fighting all these dudes, and like swords and stuff are just like bouncing off of him. Well, he fought this guy. You know how they do the thing with, they have like these wooden poles, and they're like balancing on the poles, but they're fighting on the top of the poles? Well, it was that, but there were spikes underneath, right? Really kind of a fun scene. So he's fighting or whatever, and he loses his balance, and he grabs onto the thing, onto the 2 of the poles, right? And he's hanging, and then he looks down, and he covers, I am not shitting you, he covers his butthole. Another guy sees the fight go down, and he's like, oh, that's his Achilles heel, his butthole. So He ends up defeating the guy on the poles, and then later on, the guy that saw his Achilles butthole in the middle of the fight, he flies through the air and he stabs him in the butt. And so that's how he kills him at the end. He's writhing around on the ground. Like his legs, like it's literally like from this, he's like, right. It is, his legs are kind of up and there's a sword sticking out of his butt. What? So the movie was fine. But that one I didn't really care for. But then today I watched The Web of Death. And yes, there's a spider involved. This one was one of the most batshit crazy martial arts films that I've seen yet. There's this thing called, what is it called? The Five Venom Spider. They open up this cage and this thing like spits out all this stuff. And it looks like there's weird sparkly stuff. And I mean, I'll just say the special effects, the set design, everything. It reminded me of Big Trouble in Little China. I would not be surprised if somewhere, and I don't know this for sure, but it's like the way that they did the sets and everything, it reminded me of Big Trouble in Little China. So I would not be surprised if John Carpenter was inspired by this movie. But just because of the craziness, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed The Web of Death. So those are all the martial arts films I've watched. Then let's get rid of the books. Those are all the books I read, by the way. If you're new here, those are all the books I read this year. Yeah, if you want to hear me talking about them, go back in the stream a little bit. But of course, the program, I watched that. That was, yeah, I mean, pretty much 2 days after that came out, we talked about it, I think on stream, and then it came out, and then I was just like, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. So I bought it, watched it, and did a review on it, and I really enjoyed it. Again, it's taking all of the information that we've heard over the last few years since 2017 and kind of summing it up in a really nice package, and it's more for people who don't know what's going on. For those of us who do know what's going on, there was only a couple of interesting tidbits in there, but I still, like I said, it was still nice to be able to read or to watch a thing that kind of summed it all up. You know what I mean? So kind of neat there. On yesterday's video, I did talk about the fact that I watched Joker Folie à Deux, and I actually kind of liked it. I don't think it's perfect at all. I think there's too many musical numbers. But I actually got a lot out of it, especially like considering how much I disliked the first one. So because this was on Max, I said, why not? Let's give it a shot. And I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it. So I get it. I understand that people they didn't like this movie, but I didn't think it was nearly as bad as everybody said it was. So, and then of course, honoring Mr. Denis Villeneuve, I'm watching one of his early movies, a movie that he made before Sicario, right? Before, Prisoners. You might say this movie Incendies? No, it's Incendie. Because he's French Canadian. This movie is wow. It's so you basically got these twins. They don't really know much about their mother's past. Their mother passes away. And they're given basically information on where to find their father, who they think is dead, and the brother that they didn't know they had. And so they go on this journey to find out where she's from and all the information. And I'm going to tell you, I did not see any of it coming. There is one, and in fact, there's probably a couple of parts where you're kind of like, okay, that doesn't quite add up, but it's still the way that it's told, the way that it's shot. It's Denis, right? I would recommend you seeking it out. This was on Tubi, so I was able to watch that one for free. It's also the one that I mentioned on in the Discord, that there were so many ads that it was irritating. But it is still available for free if you're interested. You can watch Incendie. And then keeping up with the French movie thing, I'm stepping away a lot from some more recent movies. I mean, yeah, I'm going to watch some more recent movies, but I'm going to throw in some older ones too. So I watched Three Colors Blue, which is the first of a trilogy of the three colors, blue, white, and red. These are available on HBO Max, or just Max. I should probably stop calling it HBO Max because it's just Max. Anyway, Bleu. It was this is one of those movies where I feel like I totally see why this movie is important. And I totally see why people like it. This was kind of a depressing movie. And it seems to get more depressing. So what it is she's married to a famous composer. That's Juliette Binoche, right? She's married to a famous composer. They're in the car with their daughter in the back. They get in a car wreck. She's the only survivor. And so it's at the beginning of the movie, it's kind of her processing her grief. But then as time goes on, some things come out about her husband and about, it's kind of her processing all this. It's like I said, an interesting film. It's shot, very, very, it's got a very European look to it. Of course, I mean, they're in Paris, but it's just one of those things where I totally see why this movie is important. But and I kept thinking, I'm like, I can't even think that I would think to write something like this, because it's so much built on the feel of what she's going through. And there are many shots, many scenes of just her staring out the window, and you can see her thinking and processing, you know what I mean? I just don't know if I could write something like that. So from that perspective, I enjoyed it. I don't need to see it again. I'm gonna watch White and Red. This might be a situation where these are all available on the Criterion Collection in a set, by the way. That it's one of those sets that I've had in my wish list for a long time. And I'm like, you know what? I should probably, instead of spending the money to buy them, I should probably just watch them and see if I like them first. The problem with doing that is there's probably interviews, commentaries, background into these movies that I won't get by just watching the movie. That's the great thing about the Criterion Collection is you get context, and it enriches the film. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I need to buy that. But like I said, I watched it. I enjoyed it, and White and Red are coming soon. But then I also watched Clint Eastwood's latest, Juror Number 2, which is also available on Max. Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, and Kiefer Sutherland. I didn't even realize that J.K. Simmons and Kiefer Sutherland were even in it. But what I would describe this movie as is 12 Angry Men with a twist. And I enjoyed it. Great performances from especially Nicholas Hoult. He's had kind of a frustrating year. He was in that movie The Order, which I don't think got a full theatrical release, or maybe it was just a very quick one. Juror Number 2 was pulled very, very quickly. And I mean, he was in Nosferatu though, but I mean, that was his biggest movie of the year. But man, he's got a big year next year because he's playing Lex Luthor. But I gotta say, I enjoyed the movie. I also I'm not going to say I think that HBO or HBO. I think that Warner Brothers was right by pulling it. But this is definitely one of those movies that I can see being made in the mid 90s. Lower budget, smaller story. There's no special effects. It's a good story. But man, it's these days, I just don't know. I don't know if it could have done any better than the time that it was out in theaters, because I don't know if people would go see this. This is definitely a more it's a drama, you know? I mean, who goes and just goes to the movie theaters to see dramas? Usually it's the bigger budget stuff. So I don't know. All I can say is that I enjoyed it and I'm glad that I watched it. So there you go. Now let's get caught up. Let's get caught up here. Let's see. Isn't that the plot of Old Boy? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Can't say what the best movie I saw was. Madam Web was the worst, with Joker 2 in second. See? Wraith disagrees with me with Joker 2. I got a lot out of it. I mean, I thought, to me, it's because, and maybe it's because I've seen so many different iterations of the Joker, that I never really felt like he was a Joker, not the Joker. I don't know. So that didn't bother me. You know, I don't know. I liked it though. I mean, hey, you know, I liked it. Northern Michigan. Not too bad here for a winter wonderland. Was back was making a sandwich. What was the question you had for me? Shozama, I just wanted to know what your best and worst of the year were. Sorry, you probably already went back to eating your sandwich. But I know that you've seen quite a few movies this year too. Anybody wants to say, now's the time. Now's the time, because I don't have anything else on my list. So it's just you and me now. Well, in a second, because I got to go to the restroom. Okay? I got to go pee. So I'll be right back. Protect well your Achilles butthole and it will protect you. Speaking of books, reading the Dagger and Coin series. Hey, Dagger and Coin, man, I got it on the list. What was the last drama you saw in the theaters? Let me think. Man, I don't know. I really don't know. I can't think of it. Man, dude, the pressure is crazy, guys. Crazy. I watched Island of Dr. Moreau this year. Not a new movie, but it was really good. Same goes for Eyes Wide Shut. I really like that one. Eyes Wide Shut is one of those that I feel like I need to see again. Because I saw it when it first came out. But man, I am such a different person than I was when I saw that the first time, you know? And I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but it's like about every 10 years, I can watch a movie and think something different about what it was before. And it's one of the questions that I asked Roger Ebert back in the day when he was really he was really big into the websites or on his website. And I emailed him and I said, have you ever changed your mind? Like how many, like are there any cases of movies where you were like, yeah, it didn't connect with me the first time, but then I watched it again. And I don't remember what he said, but he did say that, yeah, I mean, it does happen. And it's happened to me many times, you know, better and worse. Like there's some that have gotten better over time and then some that have gotten worse. Eyes Wide Shut was one of those where I didn't really get it, you know? It was like, oh yeah, that's the guy. That's Stanley Kubrick, all right. But I don't know. But then like, I would say for me, Citizen Kane, 2001, Blade Runner, those are all movies that I was like, I was ambivalent the first time I watched them. And then the more that I learned about them, I watched them again years later, I came to appreciate them. So I don't know. It's an interesting, Eyes Wide Shut is an interesting one. I don't think I've ever seen Island of Dr. Moreau. You're talking about the one with Marlon Brando, right? Is that Dr. Moreau? I think so. Modella Negra for the boys in chat. Modelo. Sure. Best improved transfer from a previous viewing was King of New York 4K. Best physical pickup this year, Columbia Classics Volume 2, Taxi Driver, Stripes, Social Network, Sense and Sensibility, Oliver, and Anatomy of a Murder. Okay. Dude, thank you. Well, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like all of those in the Columbia Classics, those are all movies that pretty much everybody should see. We should all watch those. Like I never watched Sense and Sensibility, and I never watched Oliver. I have Anatomy of a Murder on digital. I haven't watched it yet. Didn't really love any 2024 movies, not even Dune 2, but still have yet to see Horizon and Strange Darling. And dude, okay, so for me, there's still Anora. I hear great things about that. What's funny is I was talking about that, wanting to see that with my wife. She looked it up and she looked at the, the IMDb lists out, like what's going on with the movie. And she was like, you need to find something else to watch. Because apparently there's a lot of sexual stuff in that movie. But I still want to see it because there's so many people talking about how great it is. Conclave, I want to see that because I'm a huge Ralph Fiennes fan. I want to see that movie Kill, the Indian film. I want to see I've heard some weird things about The Brutalist. But I mean, it's Guy Pearce and Adrian Brody. I kind of want to see that. But yeah, there's still a ton of movies. Any flavors in your vape tonight? Well, yeah, Ninjinzu, we tried out the boysenberry jam scone, and it's freaking great. freaking good. I did really dig Boy Kills World, though. Something I wouldn't have put into my eyeballs if it wasn't for the glowing Order 42 review. Now, I don't know about it's glowing. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it deserved better, I thought, because that's the kind of movie that I think a lot of people would like, because it's just fun. It's just a fun movie. Bill Skarsgård, he's mute. It's almost like it's almost like one of these martial arts films, but with extreme violence, and it's pretty fun. I like it. I think it's good, and I want to see it again. So, in fact, I think I've got that I think I have that in my wish list for that, because I want to get the 4K disc, and it'll probably be cheap because nobody's buying it. Nobody knows about it. Really like Shadow Strays, but without loving it. Shadow Strays. What is this? Shadow Strays. It's a Netflix movie? Huh. I don't know if I know any of these people. Interesting. It's got a 6.5 on IMDb. If you care. 91% Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good. But interesting. Okay. Shadow Strays. All right. Will 10 years change your opinion on the new Crow movie? No. I mean, it's one of those where if you hate a movie, I have a hard time thinking that that's going to change, and especially because of the specific problems with that movie. I don't think there's any way that can change. But a movie where it's like, I don't really get it, or it didn't really work on me. There's some movies like Nosferatu is one of those movies that I don't think I need to see that again. But it could be that I need to watch it again with a little more patience. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was being impatient. Maybe it's the fact that I've seen so many different variations of Dracula, and I've read the book twice. Maybe that's why that I'm sitting there going, okay. And the way that I explained it in the comment, for those of you who haven't seen my review of Nosferatu, and if you haven't, shame on you. No. But what I said in one of the comments was, have you ever been to a museum and you're on a tour, a guided tour, and the person sitting there keeps talking about this painting, and you're like, okay, can we move on? And you're like, okay, we get it. Let's move on to the next thing, right? That's kind of how Nosferatu was for me. I kept feeling this impatience of just like, okay, let's move on. I got it. And it just felt slow to me because of that. Yeah. Again, that one may be just me. But The Crow, nope, sorry. That is one Bill Skarsgård movie I never need to see again, because it's just bad. It's just like, what is it? The Bigfoot versus DB Cooper? Yeah, that's not going to get better with age. The movie sucks. I'd like to make a goal for 2025 to see all the classic movies, Universal Monster movies, Citizen Kane, basically those highly revered old school movies. Been doing too much Marvel and comedies. I think it's one of the things that, and I know I've talked about Robert Meyer Burnett a lot, but one of the things that he was talking about is having a healthy media diet. Not just watching one kind of film or one, or just recent films. Go back, because the Academy Awards have been around for 78 years. There's a best picture movie from every year. There's tons and tons of great movies every single year. And every single year there's good ones and there's bad ones. There's good Westerns, there's bad Westerns. There's good sci-fi, there's bad sci-fi. And good horror, bad horror. I just, go to the back. Go back some. So I've been trying to, I've got some movies, the classic French movies. There's movies that I have. Is it Diabolique? However you say that. Got that. I've got 8.5. I've got Breathless. I've got a bunch of movies that are on my list to watch because I have a hole there. There's a void, and I want to fill it with great movies. No sexual puns, please. But yeah. Drinking Guinness. You know what? I tried the Guinness Nitro, and man, I am not a fan. Here's the thing, though. I'm not a big beer fan anyway, but it literally tasted like I'm drinking bread. And it's just not my thing. Drinking's just not my thing. Okay? If you know, give me some little bit of THC and I think I'd be good. I just alcohol is just not my thing. Favorite action TV show was Fallout. Had zero expectations. Really liked it a lot. Yeah, me too. Shogun a close second. Yeah, I mean, I had Shogun, Fallout, and The Penguin on my best of or my favorite TV shows of the year. We deserve that after too many video game flops. Yeah. And I want to see Anora is one of those where I'm like, I look at the premise and I go, that premise doesn't appeal to me like at all. But when I hear so many people giving it like best of the year, you know, or, you know, in their best of the year conversation, it's like, I want to see it. Like, I still haven't watched movies from last year. Zone of Interest. I hear that movie's really rough to watch. I still haven't seen, what's the, Perfect Days? Is that what it's called? I think Shozama said that he saw it. I might be wrong. But that's another movie from last year I need to watch. Yeah, second half of Fallout was proper good. Yes, exactly. Happened to watch Boy Kills World in close proximity with Shadow Strays and Gyllenhaal Roadhouse. Yeah, Roadhouse. That one just like. Here's the weird thing, and this might sound morbid, but we all have a limited time on this earth, and there are many movies that I look at and I go, I just don't think. For example, Madam Web is a movie, you know, Wraith said, what happened to Madam Web on your worst of? I was like, well, I didn't watch it. I didn't bother because there's not enough time. There's not enough time to watch every single thing. Now, if it was my job, like if I was, okay, you might say, well, Rob, aren't you kind of getting paid, you know, to do YouTube? I mean, yeah, but not enough to pay for all the movies I'd have to go watch. To go watch Madam Web in the theater, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for Kraven the Hunter. Those are movies that I look at and I go, that doesn't look like it's for me. Like at all, you know? Oh, The Wild Robot. I still haven't seen that yet because I've been waiting for April. And come on, let's watch it. Because I think it's available to rent now, I think. Which is, what, $5.99? That's not bad. We need to watch that one. Kind of accidentally put myself through a trilogy of new action fisticuffs movies, which had an interesting, fresh approach to shooting, editing said fisticuffs. Yes. I know nobody asked for a new Roadhouse, but it has Jake Gyllenhaal and it's directed by Doug Liman. So even if the story wasn't anything award-winning, I knew it wasn't going to be run-of-the-mill. That's fair. Kickboxer, Maximum Risk. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this. Van Damme doesn't connect with me, you know? Just not my thing, you know? Brought up both here on the Discord multiple times each, but he somehow forgets it exists each time. I don't remember you saying Shadow Stray. I don't remember that at all. Even though he claims to be a fan of martial arts movies. Well, I mean, you see what I've been watching. I've been watching stuff like that. That's different. This is different. If you like Indonesian martial arts films, The Raid, check out Shadow Strays. Okay. Now that's yeah. Yeah, Perfect Days was one of my favorite 4K Blu-ray pickups this year. Yeah, that's another one that I heard a lot about last year and never got around to seeing it. My new old discovery is a great silent film star, Louise Brooks. Saw her in 2 G.W. Pabst movies, Diary of a Lost Girl, Pandora's Box, but in other directors' movies, such a comedic actress as well. I love that. And you know what? Hey, I really have come to really appreciate silent film. You know, between watching Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, and then watching the original Nosferatu earlier in the year. Yeah. Good stuff. And Ranjit, good morning from India and Happy New Year to you. I hope you have a great one. And I'm guessing it's already New Year there. Happy New Year. Yeah. Same reasons why you didn't watch Madam Web are the same ones I didn't bother with The Crow. And I totally get that. But I mean, you get what I was trying to say though, right? Like if you take I think there is a possibility of a good version, an updated version of The Crow. If you took the skeleton of the story, you take it out of 1994 and you bring it into 2024, you could do some really, really interesting things. But there's things that you got to check off, right? There's things that should work. You got to have, I think you kind of have to have top dollar and, fired up guys. You got to have all that stuff. But bring it into today, it might be an interesting take. That's what I was hoping for. And we didn't get that. So yeah. Just cooking. Yes. Eat the food. Eating a Scooby-Doo size sandwich. About to go back into Marvel Rivals. Oh, man. A sandwich sounds really good. See, again, because of Crohn's crap, I eat very, very small pizza. So I'm like hungry now. I want to eat. In fact, I probably won't be able to go get anything. I'll probably have to find something to eat in there. I might have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Doesn't that sound good? I haven't had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a long time. But there was something the other day I was kind of like, oh, what would be good? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I thought, well, I don't have any jelly. So maybe I'll just have, because my wife had some strawberries in there. And I'm like, I'll just have a peanut butter and strawberry sandwich. So I've had that before and it's really tasty. Cut up the strawberries and they're bad. And I'm like, dang it. All right, well, just a piece of peanut butter on bread, but I don't know. But no, I love a big freaking Jersey Mike's club sandwich. Man, come on. I love a big sandwich. I've been eating lots of sandwiches lately because we bought for Christmas. We made sort of cooked sandwiches over here with croissants and deli turkey and deli ham. So we had a bunch of deli turkey and deli ham left over. So I've been eating a bunch of sandwiches. But yeah. Big MAGA Bulge. Welcome. I need protein. Well, I mean, peanut butter's got a lot of protein in it. For some reason, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich has sounded good for like the last couple of weeks. So I got some jam. Some jam jelly in there. I don't know if it's jelly or jam. I think it's jam. Preserves, that's jam. But yeah, I got some in there. So maybe that's what I'll have for a post-stream snack. Yeah, and my wife's not huge on, hey, let's get a bunch of snacks and stuff for New Year. So I'm like, she's not a big. And remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but last year is when her dad got sick. So it's been kind of awkward. You know what I mean? So there's probably not going to be a whole lot of crazy stuff going on here at the house. You know what I mean? Rufus the Red, I'm sure you're probably already gone by now, but hey, Happy New Year to you. And I appreciate you too. I should have excelled all the way before just talking and just vape flying out of my mouth. But yeah, Happy New Year, man. Dan to Dan was my favorite new anime TV series this year. Such an insane show. I've seen that a couple of times recently, and I don't even know what that is. So, yeah, what kind of sandwich? Bacon, honey ham, black forest ham, lettuce, tomato, sharp cheddar on Cheesecake Factory sandwich bread. Mayo. That sounds great. That's a lot of pork. That's a lot of pork on there, but I would totally eat that. That sounds awesome. Yeah, preserves with peanut butter. There you go. I wanted to see if there was a place that sells Elvis sandwiches when I was in Texas. Well, again, you don't have to go crazy with that. You know, you don't have to go find a place that does. You can make that so easy at home. Bacon, peanut butter, banana. You're done on toasted bread. Put it together. Put it in your face. It's awesome. Now, I have had plenty of peanut butter and banana sandwiches in my life. I've never had one with bacon. But it's got to be good. I mean, come on. I mean, that's all an Elvis sandwich is, right? See, what you could do, here's another thing, another way that you could do it. And this, in fact, this might be a little putting it over the top. You know what I mean? Like holy crap. Like a savory-ish PBJ and banana. Yes. Okay. Make your peanut butter and banana bacon sandwich, right? So you've got your 2 pieces of bread, butter on one side, put it in a pan, grill that, and then turn it over, do the same thing, butter the other side, grill that. So it's almost like a grilled cheese, except it's peanut butter, banana, and bacon inside. That sounds awesome. In fact, I have all of those ingredients in there. Yeah, PBJ with bacon. Well, I mean, it's peanut butter banana though, right? Peanut butter and jelly M&Ms. I've never had that. Peanut butter, honey, and onions. I can't see that working, but you know what? The fact that there's so many Asian dishes that have peanut butter in them, I can't say no. I can't say that that's bad. Now, if I said that to my wife, she would freak out. She would totally freak. Now, are these grilled onions or are these just raw white onion or purple onion? Because that's a big thing too. Because purple onions have more of a punch. White onions or yellow onions are more mild. Cheese with jam is a classic. Oh, well, yeah, of course. And welcome, David Layerdoon Kimbo. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. Good to see you. Raw, any type of onion. Okay. I don't have those. I don't have any onion in there. That does sound peanut butter and honey I've had before. Interesting. See, like Wraith, I don't know if the Elvis sandwich is just peanut butter and jelly with bacon, because that sounds too. You know what? Who knows? Because I bet you that's good too. All I know is one of the things that I had when I was on my like super protein, low fat, all that crap, almond butter, and it was that I can't remember the brand name, but it's the bread that has a bunch of like seeds and crap on it. It's like a keto bread, but I can't remember the name of the bread or the name of the brand. But it was that bread, almond butter, and sliced strawberries and bananas, and that was a snack. And I seriously wanted to have it. Like I could just eat that all the time. You know? That was really good. But sounds like something a fast food place would make a milkshake out of. You know what's funny is I think it's Five Guys where that one there's a YouTube channel that I think I've talked about before. I got addicted to, called Beard Meats Food. Beard meats as in like ham, turkey, meats. Beard Meats Food. and he was going to Five Guys and getting the peanut butter Oreo bacon milkshake. And I'm like, dude, that sounds awesome. Peanut butter Oreo bacon. I bet that's great. I don't know. I don't know if they'll make it here, but that he's from the UK, so I don't know. Let's see. Excuse me. Kalki 2898 AD was one of the movies from India I saw on the big screen this year. I think I looked into that one and I thought, yeah, Prabhas. Yeah, I think I watched the trailer for that and was like, I don't know. The thing is I've talked about this before. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I closed the browser. So if we want to look anything else up tonight, we're gonna have problems. With Indian films, there's so many of them. They felt so similar to me. And what was really frustrating is having a list of movies that I wanted to watch and not being able to watch them because they weren't available here in the United States. And it was just like, okay, I'm kind of, and on top of that, getting basically yelled at for criticizing. Not that that's a problem, but it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well then what am I doing this for? You know? Sure, I'm getting a lot of views, but man, all these comments, it seems like people hate me. So, and let's be honest, a lot of those Indian films are very targeted toward Indian folks from this specific state, you know? And that's just, guy from Texas isn't included in that, so. J.A. Bayona. Okay, I shouldn't have closed the browser because I don't know who that is. Oh, wait, I wonder if it works. Nope. Okay, so I broke the browser. J.A. Bayona, Spanish filmmaker who has made, what's he made? Society of the Snow, The Impossible, The Orphanage, A Monster Calls, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Marrowbone. I have seen Society of the Snow. I have seen The Impossible. I did not watch the Jurassic World movie. He's doing a World War Z 2. But I did see The Impossible, and I did see Society of the Snow was fantastic. Fantastic film. And I didn't watch that one until, gosh, I don't even remember when I watched it. I think that was this year. But it was actually last year's Academy Awards. It was up for awards last year, right? But yeah, I can't fault him for that. That was a great movie. Very sad. I'm not sure what that says. Ranjit. Happy New Year's, guy, and everyone else. Bandit's best. Happy New Year to you too. Just watch Fargo season 5. Worth a watch. Yeah, see, I think I stopped watching in season 2. And I don't know if I finished season 2. Because at that point, we had gotten rid of Hulu for a long, long time. But we got Hulu back because of the bundle it's just cheaper. Or it's not that it's cheaper really, it's just that it only was a couple more dollars to have Hulu included with Disney Plus. So now we have Hulu again, and I just didn't go back. Maybe I should go back. Still haven't watched RRR. I'm telling you, man, that's the one that started it all for me because it made me realize that I had been looking at Indian films all wrong. But the weird thing about that movie is, and it may be, maybe Rajamouli's, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but it may be he watches a lot of American films. And I think the thing about American films is that they're not exactly targeted to anybody, and they're more universal. They're trying to tell more universal stories. Now, I mean, again, having, the the Chinese box office included in, the worldwide box office is a bigger deal than it used to be, you know? So they're trying to make things a little more universal. I think Rajamouli took a lot of inspiration from American style films, even though there's almost nothing but Indian star. Well, that's not true, because you got you definitely have some British stars in that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it didn't feel exclusive to Indian folks. A lot of Indian films still feels very targeted to Indian people, and what ends up happening is there's so many in jokes and things that only people from this part of the country would understand, that it's almost like they're holding a hand to the others and going, no, you're this isn't for you. And then you take someone out of the country, so that's almost like twice removed. They're almost impenetrable, some movies, Indian movies, and they just don't feel like they're trying to tell a universal story. They're trying to tell a story to the people that they want to tell a story to, and that's fine. But you're going to be limited to, this movie's only going to play well in this region or in this state. So I feel like Indian filmmakers should branch out a little more and try to tell a story that a lot of people can watch. And they have. There's plenty of filmmakers that do that, but there's also plenty of filmmakers that, man, they really target. And that's fine. But yeah. T2 and Jurassic Park are definitely movies that appeal to everyone. Right, but you have to also think that T2 has and Jurassic Park, a lot of those movies have, all white people. Which is, look, it's just the way it was when they were making that movie. But yeah, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, but you know what I mean? It's like, let's get some international kind of touch to it. It's not a DEI thing. It's literally, let's get people from all over the world that can be in these movies. I don't know about you, but man, if I go to a metropolitan area, it's not just white people, not just black people, not just, Mexican people, there's all kinds of people. There's people from Japan, there's people from China, there's people from India. There's a pretty large Indian community here in Dallas Fort Worth. There's people from all over, right? And I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't think it should be a mandate, but I think it should, it should be a natural thing, right? We should have a more varied look, I'll just say. So I wrote in Hindi to that guy who recommended you Kalki and tell him not to recommend any Indian movie to you because I know you are going to like it. I'm writing in Hindi to that guy who recommended you Kalki and tell him not to recommend any Indian movie to you because I know you are going to like it. To not recommend me any movies? Well, Shazama's from Texas. He's from El Paso. I don't know if he understands Hindi. I don't subscribe to that notion. I watch a bunch of Indian films and don't feel that way. Okay. That's great. That's great. But I've watched a lot of Indian films and there are so many of them that feel like they're really just pointed to. And maybe it's, again, you're talking to a guy who did a review and then got a bunch of comments of people kind of getting mad at me for criticizing it. How dare you not do years of research, on this subject that this movie's about? I didn't know. I'm just watching a movie here. I didn't know I had to be a, religious expert to enjoy Kantara. Sorry, I'm just saying it didn't work for me. So maybe that's part of it too, is that I'm still kind of mad about that. But it's also one of my, if not my largest my highest viewed video. So I don't know. Favorite Guy Ritchie movie. And Shozama's is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It's got to be Snatch for me. I love Lock, Stock. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like his marriage to Madonna took him out of the game for a while. Because a bunch of his movies were kind of like, they were kind of lame. I feel like the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was also very mid. You're not gonna like it. Oh well, I mean, again, Ranjit, that's the thing. I still watch a lot of trailers, but a lot of the films that people tend to suggest to me are movies that just don't appeal to me. Like, to me, okay, Ranjit, here's an example. The movie that you recommended to me the other day, it looked exactly like KGF to me. It may not be, but the trailer reminded me of it, and it made me go, I don't need to see another movie like that. Or wait a minute, am I getting mixed up? I might be getting mixed up because it wasn't KGF. I don't know. The action movies, though, honestly, action movies are, there's not a lot of story. And by the way, hi Vinny, I see you there. I see you with the This Isn't Minecraft. I see you. But a lot of straight up action movies, I'm not usually a fan of because they all kind of do the same thing. And we're talking American, like John Wick is cool, but man, I can't watch them more than once, and they're not like, they don't stick with me. So yeah, I'd rather like there's Kill, and then there was another one that I said that I was gonna watch, that I wanted to watch, and I think it won at Cannes, an Indian film from Cannes. That's just my point. I just got Man from U.N.C.L.E. on 4K earlier in an Arrow sale this year. Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a Guy Ritchie film that's almost great to me. It's kind of it's just like right there, you know. It's not. There are problems with it. There was something I remember thinking, man, I wish it just did this, and it just didn't. But let's see. What are we gonna do today? I want to see Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Layer Cake. I've seen Layer Cake. I remember it being fine. I don't remember a whole lot about it. UHF. Vinny, why are you talking about Weird Al? Because UHF. That's one of those where I haven't seen that in years. I wonder if it's as good as I remember it. Or if that was, yeah, when I was young, that was funny. Now, maybe not so much. All We Imagine Is Light, yes. Yes. That's the one that I heard about, that I'm like, that one sounds like a movie that I kind of want to see. Like when I see the preview for Kalki, I'm like, I feel like I've seen this before. You know? I don't know. John Wick didn't do it for me. I watched the first 3, but it's like, okay, what's the hype about? I get it, Vinny. I get it. And Boy Kills World is a movie that almost takes that style and twists it up a little bit, but it's also like, it's almost like a disposable, fun little roller coaster. But it does something different that I'd never really seen before, and it made me laugh, and it was fun. Rock and Roll is a good laugh. Yeah, I saw that one. I don't remember it at all. I think that was Wow, I remember catching UHF when I was grounded and I had an antenna dial TV in my room and I caught it when it started. Good times. Yeah, and I mean, it's Weird Al. I mean, how bad can it be, you know? Hey, Hydration bear. Where is he? Here he is. Okay. 2025, everybody gonna stay hydrated. Okay, that's the way it's gonna happen. It's gonna have to happen. Boy Kills World is one that caught my attention and then forgot it exists. Is it worth watching? I think so. Especially if you have Hulu, it's a no-brainer, dude. If you have Hulu, just give it a shot. I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, don't go in there thinking, okay, this story is going to be life-shattering, you know? Life-shattering? Earth-shattering. Whatever. Just go in going, okay, let's just have some fun. And in my opinion, Boy Kills World is fun. LOL, that bear. Oh no, he coming. Look at him. Look at him. He is not happy with you if you're not hydrated. This is a threat. I love that. It's funny. I remember the trailer but never saw it. Yeah, you should watch it. And it's Bill Skarsgård, man. You want to see the moment that I went, okay, I like Bill Skarsgård a lot, and I'm rooting for him, was Barbarian. That was last year, right? That was the moment when I thought, okay, I'm in. Because he's in one of the John Wicks, right? As himself. He's not, wearing a bunch of makeup. When I saw him in Barbarian, I was like, okay, I'm rooting for... I've seen that was all the Bill Skarsgård movies this year, right? Boy Kills World, The Crow, Nosferatu. I like 2 out of the 3. Nosferatu is... It's good, but it's not nearly as good as people are saying it is. At least in my opinion. Turbo Kid. What's Turbo Kid? Is that a movie that he was in? Turbo Kid. 2015. What is Turbo Kid? Is Bill Skarsgård in that? I don't see him. I see Michael Ironside. I just heard some fireworks go off. It's a good thing it's been raining a lot. What's Turbo Kid? How dare you? Vinny, look at this. Look at this streak. Or this streak. Yeah, I'm a lot older than you. Oh, Boy Kills World made you think of Turbo Kid for some reason. Ah, gotcha. Vinegar Syndrome Roadhouse 4K was one of my favorite rewatches this year, along with Digital HD, Better Off Dead, 2025, more retro and comedies on the agenda. Yeah, Better Off Dead, man. This is pure snow. It's everywhere. Do you know what the street value of this mountain is? Look, I can't move my right arm. Dude, Curtis Armstrong, man. He's funny in that movie. Look, dude, it's Christmas Eve. I could be home right now drinking with this monster eggnog my brother makes with lighter fluid. I love Better Off Dead. And you know what? John Cusack is one of those actors he was another one that I used to really root for. I used to really root for him. And he hasn't been in anything lately. And I know he had some, I guess, differing opinions on political stuff or whatever. I didn't pay attention to any of that. I remember him from Better Off Dead and loving Lane Meyer. I love Lane Meyer. And I also liked One Crazy Summer. Yeah, and everybody wants some. Everybody wants some. That's the John Cusack I know. Some people say, oh, well, what about Grosse Point Blank? Oh, yeah, I remember that. But he's always Lane Meyer to me. It's just the way it is. Gonna name a random movie. Give us your 5-star rating. First up, American Gangster. That is a 5-star rating. Okay. That is can I do decimals? If not, I'll just say 4-star. It's 4 stars. But I need to see it again. It's Ridley Scott movie, right? I gotta watch it again. I've only seen it the one time. Is Turbo Kid a Jingle All the Way prequel that explains Turbo Man's origins? Second movie, Glory. Glory is a 4.5. Are we doing all Denzel? Happy 70th birthday to Denzel Washington, by the way. Belated. I don't remember when it was, but I saw that the other day and I'm like, really? Holy crap, 70? Dude, Denzel awesome. 4.5 stars though. Matthew Broderick, man. Man, what a great movie. That's another one that I feel like I need to watch again. Check out the trailer for Turbo Kid. It's so great, but it's got Ash versus Evil Dead style of gore. It has way too much fun with it. I have never even heard of that movie before. Flash Gordon. Oh, you're talking about Sam, whatever his name is. Flash, right? Queen. I'll give it 2.5 stars for Queen. And for Gordon's Alive. So Brian Blessed. Oh, wait. Okay, 3 stars. Max von Sydow. So Max von Sydow, Brian Blessed, Queen. 3 stars out of 5. I don't like that movie. It's just not for me. I don't like the Dino De Laurentiis style of special effects. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. It makes me so angry, and it takes me completely out of the movie. It's why I don't like things like Battle Beyond the Stars. It's why I don't like the 1984 David Lynch Dune. Those special effects completely rip me out of a movie, you know? So it gets 3 stars. 3 stars. What happened to Guy Ritchie was his misstep in splitting with his producer Matthew Vaughn after Snatch. Okay, well that makes a lot of sense. It's also interesting that when Kevin Smith split with Scott Mosier, and I don't think it was a oh, we don't agree anymore. It's more like Scott Mosier wanted to do other things. And at that point, Kevin Smith's movies changed too. Stuck on You. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. Can you still hear me? Yes, you can. I got to fix this. Stuck on You. Stuck on You. I got this feeling deep in my soul that I just can't do. Oh, when I'm on my way. Sorry. Little Lionel Richie. 2003. Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear, right? I have not seen that. I have not seen this film. What did you think about my guy Richie? Or my Lionel Richie? 5th, Cobra. I know this is gonna piss people off. But that's like a 2.5 to me. To me, that is like a bad Stallone movie. You know? An okay Stallone movie is like a 3-star Stallone movie is Tango and Cash. A 3.5 is probably unsubbed. But like a 3.5 would be something like I'm trying to think. Like a Rambo 2. A 4.5 star would be First Blood. Demolition Man would probably be a 3.5 to a 4. Depending on how I'm feeling. I think that's probably a 4, right? That's a fun movie. Come on, chat. Give Rob a random movie for Rob to review. There you go. Do it. Let's do it. But seriously, I wanted to hear from you guys. Like what Wraith, what are your favorite movies of the year? Vinny, your favorite and best, worst, surprised, whatever. Did I plan any party for tonight? No, Ranjit, no. My wife and I, we're getting up there in age. But no, most of our friends live, if you look at the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex, they live on the, I'll just say this, they live on the opposite side. So it'd probably take an hour to get there, and driving an hour there and an hour back after all the festivities, not something we really like doing. We've done it before. We're not fans, but neither of us are party people either. So we'll probably, we'll stream a little bit more. Then I'll go in there and we'll probably watch a couple episodes of Barney Miller and go to bed, I'm kidding about Barney Miller. Nobody watches Barney Miller anymore, though they should, because I actually like that. I actually like that show. Okay, Jupiter Ascending. That is a no clue for best. Well, Wraith, I know that. I think Andor was my favorite watch this year. Not a movie, but it was great. Yeah, but that budget though, right? Can you believe that? $645 million for 2 seasons of TV. Now, that'll end up being around, it was one of the things that I really liked what Campia said about it, was that that ends up being about 20 hours. 20 hours of show. So when you compare it to, say, Rise of Skywalker, that was a like 275 million budget for Rise of Skywalker for a roughly 2-hour movie. The breakdown is a lot better for Andor, but I think Andor was freaking amazing. Okay, wait. Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending is probably a 2.5, although there's something about that movie that I did enjoy, but it's also not great. Chronicle. That one is probably 3.25 out of 5. I enjoyed it, but I was also like, okay, it was fine. It was fine. It didn't blow me away. No need to nominate Familian. We already know that's a 6 out of 5 star movie for Rob. That movie, okay. Here's the thing. I think I've seen the whole movie. The movie is basically porn. But it's without all the goodies. You know what I mean? That makes sense. No, it's basically just, it's softcore. And softcore shows are terrible. So yeah, it's bad. Rate this otherwise if you haven't seen it. Watch The Magic Flute, directed by Kenneth Branagh. The Magic Flute. Magic Flute. Kenneth Branagh. How have I never heard of this? Okay. La Flauta Magica. Un film by, okay, Joseph Kaiser, Amy Carr. I don't know any of these people. Huh. Interesting. Okay. The Magic Flute. City of God. Okay. That one's tough. Because that's one of those, if it's the movie that I'm thinking of, let me look it up. If it is the movie, yes, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have seen this. That is the kind of movie that I go, that's a 4-star movie. 4 out of 5, no question. I never want to watch that movie again. That was a rough movie to watch. I have a submission. I saw Journey to the West, Conquering the Demons, movie by Stephen Chow. I have never heard of this. Hey, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I should be adding these movies to my list. Where's my list? Where's my list? Give me a second. Is this my list? Oh, it's right here. Okay. You won't know the actors since they're opera singers. Okay, well that makes sense. Magic Flute. Shozama. And oh, there it is. Benny. Cool. You like Kung Fu Hustle or Shaolin Soccer? I have watched those before, but I don't really remember them very well. I've only seen them once. I did enjoy them on a certain level, but I've always been, and this is might be a point of contention for some folks, but I've always been less interested in the comedy side of martial arts. Like even Jackie Chan movies, when they get too goofy, you lose me. You know, I want there to be a little more, you know, a little more serious. That being said, I still appreciate them and I still like them. But like those aren't movies, those two movies are movies that I would like to see again and give them another chance because it's been a long time. But those aren't movies I would buy, you know? Now, granted, I probably wouldn't buy the Shaolin Avengers, you know, Achilles' Butthole. I wouldn't watch Achilles' Butthole, or I wouldn't have purchased Achilles' Butthole if I'd known. But because it was a part of a set, I'm stuck now with Achilles' Butthole. Anyway, Train Spotting. The only question on Train Spotting is whether to give it a 4.5 or a 5. Is it a perfect movie? I don't think so. But I own it. It's right there. The Criterion Collection, 4K. I love that movie. I've watched that movie so many times. It's where I got my, in fact, I'd say 90% of the way that I do my Scottish accent is based off of that movie. So yeah, it's very important. That's a very important movie to me. So I would definitely, yeah, 4.5. 4.5 stars. Do I consider yourself as movie reviewer or critique? Aren't those the same thing? Here's the thing. I try not to take things too seriously, but I also it's the Roger Ebert school of reviewing. It's not what a movie's about, it's how it's about it, right? So that's why I like to watch movies from anywhere and about anything. But it's how that story is told, which is really important to me. Of course, who the target audience is important, but how well does this movie do the thing that it set out to do? You know, it's why some children's films, you know, films that are, you know, let's say any Disney film or Pixar film or DreamWorks film, whatever, as long as it sets out to do as long as it does what it set out to do and it does it well, then I'll probably give it a pretty favorable review, even if it's not something I like. So in that case, I don't know. I'm just a movie review. I like movies and I like talking about them. But I don't really give them scores. Like if you watch my reviews, I don't give them scores. I say if I were to give this a score, I'd give it a however out of however many stars and whatever, but I don't typically do that because I don't think they're important. I don't think a score for a movie is that important. Because what's important is how. It's not is a movie good, is how. How is it good? what is it about that movie that makes it good? And that's kind of how I think about movies. So, for example, Nosferatu. If I gave it just a score, then you might go, "Oh, well, he doesn't like that," or "Oh, he really likes that." But why? What? To me, liking a movie and being able to articulate why that movie is good or not so good is what's important, not the score. I hope that makes sense. And I don't know what that makes me. I'm just a dude talking about movies, and I love movies. So, Netflix is doing Scooby-Doo next year as a live-action series from Greg Berlanti. Let's just hope it's more like the early seasons of Arrow, Flash, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and less like Riverdale. Okay, I'll be honest with you, Slades. Welcome, by the way. Happy New Year. Scooby-Doo is one of my least favorite cartoons from back in the day. It's also strangely more realistic because it wasn't supernatural stuff, but I always wanted it to be supernatural stuff. But it turns out, it's just a guy in a mask, you know? It's like, screw you, man. But also, I didn't like Shaggy or Scooby. Scrappy was, you know, a lot of people don't like Scrappy. I didn't like Scrappy either. But no, Scooby-Doo is just not my thing. Just like I never liked the Flintstones. I never liked the Jetsons. I wanted to watch Tom and Jerry. I wanted to watch the Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner stuff. The Looney Tunes stuff. I never liked those. Just never did. Never connected with me. It's part of the reason probably why I never connected super well with The Simpsons. I like The Simpsons, and I think The Simpsons are hilarious. But it was never I got to stop everything because The Simpsons is on, And I've never been one of those guys to just put on Simpsons and watch Simpsons. I don't know. But there you go. Let's see. What's the next one? Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 2. I'd probably give it that 3.5. 3.5. Somewhere around there. It's been a long time since I've seen those movies. I remember liking them all. They made me laugh. In India, some of the YouTubers started movie review, and soon they became millions of subscribers. And the situation is that they watch first day, first show, and review about that. Their views affect many. Range it, yes, and means you can also say the success and failure of movies depends upon those YouTubers. Yeah, I've never been interested in. I didn't start this channel to get lots of reviews or lots of views, which has also been sort of detrimental to its growth because I don't play a lot of the. I mean, and not to say that not all movie reviewers are like this, but a lot of them will play the I'm going to do a reaction to this. I'm going to do a trailer reaction. I'm going to do a music video reaction. I'm going to do a review. I don't do that. I don't care to do that. And it would be absolutely boring as whale shit to watch me watch a trailer because this is what happens. This is me watching a trailer. That's every movie trailer reaction that you'd probably watch is just me watching it. I don't emote that way, and I'm not going to be one of those people that fake emote about stuff. And I'm not going to I also don't like I don't go either way. I don't oh my god, or I don't get all angry and all that stuff. What you're seeing is a real person reacting or reviewing something, talking about a movie. And that's, I totally understand that when you, and what I try to do is if I'm going to do a movie, give an example, Nosferatu came out on Christmas Day. I asked my wife, she said, we don't have anything going Christmas Day. I said, well, do you mind if I go watch it in the morning? She's like, no, go. If you want to watch it, go watch it and then come home, do your review. And I'm like, cool. That's what I did. So if I can watch it on opening day and put a review out on the same day, I'm going to try to do that. Because if I'm going to watch it anyway, I might as well try to get as many views as possible by getting it out on the day that it's released, right? But I don't chase the views like some people do. Again, probably detrimental to the growth on this channel. But I'm just a guy, and I have to pay for everything, and that gets really difficult. When there's, especially in December, there were so many movies that came out, and so many of them where I'm like, I don't want to pay for that. Like, I don't know anything about, I don't care about Mufasa, the new Lion King. I don't care anything about it. But I know if I had done a review on it, I probably would have gotten some views out of it. So, anyway, I hope that answers your question. I don't even know if I answered your question. True Romance and Man on Fire were great rewatches this year. Dude, Tony Scott rules. Or ruled. I love Tony Scott. Ridley Scott and Tony Scott, man, they were awesome. They were so awesome. Or Tony was awesome. Really still around. But yeah, great movies. Great movies. Let's see. Bully. Movie? Nope, never saw it. Nope, never saw it. This is what you're talking about, right? 2001? Brad Renfro? Didn't Brad Renfro die? But yeah, no, I never saw that one. Let's see. I don't see how HBO can do 8 episodes of The Penguin at the cinematic quality that is each an hour long, but we can't get a 2.5-hour Batman movie in the theaters for another 2 years. Slades, I mean, that is the big point of contention right now, right? What is the holdup? Matt Reeves has had 3 years to write a Batman sequel. What the heck's going on? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but you're absolutely right. But it's because it's Matt Reeves' baby, and Matt Reeves hasn't finished it. So, Dumb and Dumber 2. Is that the one with... That's the one with Jim Carrey and yeah, I'd give that one like a 3 out of 5. It's not great, but I did laugh a lot for Dumb and Dumber 2. Off topic, who do you think is winning the NFC and AFC? Probably the I don't know. I was gonna make up something. But no, I haven't watched football in probably 4 years. I'm so out of touch with football. And that's including the Super Bowl. When we got rid of our oh God, what was it? I guess that was now I'm trying to remember. Did we have... I guess we did have... We didn't have Dish Network. What did we have? I don't remember. I don't remember what cable... Oh, no. It was, oh, shit. It was the, It was kind of like YouTube TV, but it was a different company that I think is gone now. Oh, it was the PlayStation one. We had the PlayStation one, and we had NFL Red Zone. And when we got rid of that, we stopped watching. We just don't watch football anymore. I mean, and I stopped watching UFC too, because UFC got way too, I guess, political, but it was more of like, it became more like wrestling, and not like things were faked, but more of like, it became more about what the people were saying before and after the fight instead of the fight. And I liked it better when it was just the fights. you know? And so it's basically like the production style changed, and I got tired of it. But yeah, I don't understand about that. I know about you. I'm just saying a thing. If passion became profession, it's an amazing thing. Oh, are you? I mean, if somebody paid me to do this, it'd be great. But yeah, with me and my style of videos, it's just not as popular. You know, I think there's probably plenty of people who probably would enjoy my stuff, but because I'm a smaller YouTuber, the YouTube algorithm doesn't allow it to go out to those people that I think would enjoy my stuff. If that makes sense. But it's fine. What is really effed up? Not sure. My Man Godfrey. If you haven't seen it, next time Criterion has a sale. So good. Needs a rewatch from me. I haven't seen that one. My Man Godfrey. William Powell, Carol Lombard. You're speaking my language here. Put it on the list. Now, here's the thing. I don't know when I'm going to get to all these. There's so many freaking movies on my list. It's stupid. But I want to put them on there. Any Given Sunday. I've only seen that movie one time. I'd probably say 3.5. Oliver Stone. Al Pacino. I remember liking it, but I remember being kind of like, eh. Underrated movie, Constantine. Yeah, Constantine, I probably, seriously, before, I'd probably give that movie like 3 out of 5. Like, I didn't think it was that great. But there's something about it that keeps me thinking about it that makes me think, I need to revisit that movie. And I got into, Constantine is in Sandman, and I've been really enjoying that. So it's kind of like with my newfound knowledge, I bet you I'd like it more now. So I kind of want to watch that one again. 13 Assassins. Man, what a great movie. It's on the shelf. Yeah, that's a 4 stars out of 5. My personality isn't meant for YouTube success either. Too laid back. You can have success, though. Just saying it's not my thing. I like all the religious lore. Oh, in Constantine? Hell yeah. Bowfinger. I did not like that movie. Did not connect with it at all. I would say 2 out of 5. Something like that. But look, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call it because, man, my head is killing me, and I gotta do something. I'm gonna take some freaking Sudafed or something to get this pressure down because it sucks. I just want to chill, not talk. But here's the thing. I want to thank all of you for your attention, for you watching all the things, any of the things, really, not just all the things. I mean, if you watch all the things, hey, thank you very much. But if you just watch, if you just pop into a live stream now and then, or you watch a review I do now and then, I really appreciate that because it means a lot to know that people are enjoying what you're doing. And even if you don't enjoy it, just hit the thumbs down. Because that's still a thing that helps me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Anything. And I hope everybody stays safe. I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably staying home, right? But if you're not, be careful out there. Be careful. There's people crazy, People's insane out there. But I want you to have a good time. Enjoy the new year. The celebrations, all that kind of thing. And we'll see you next week, which will be 2025. Can you believe it? Can't believe it. But anyway, yeah, have a good one. Layer Dune, Derek, Bucho, Wraith, Shazama, all you guys. Thank you so much. Ranjit, thank you. Thank you for just, hey, Slades. Thank you. But appreciate all of you. We'll see you next time. Bye.